Man, I just lowered down the music. Let me
Yeah,
stop.
you did. That was a hard stop.
That was a hard stop. So it kept playing and playing and playing. Man, our producer's missing. So, man, we're on our own with all these buttons trying to figure it out. So, welcome everybody.
Really digging
Number
the music.
46.
46.
Man, we missed last week. I was a little under the weather. I'm still a little bit under the weather, but man, we're gonna push through because man, we don't want to miss this one with Carl.
No, we don't.
We don't want to miss cast iron cooker. So and I guess we're without Wes, man. I guess he's on a cruise watching from the Bahamas, huh? So
Yeah, I think he put in early at the month, like a month off of vacation or whatever. Go ahead and put in. He's burning up a lot of his time off or whatever, but he gets 2 weekends off a month, which is I call him part timer.
right.
I was trying to remember what kind of music he played for the intros, but it's been a while. I can't even think back of what his what the vibe he sends out is. I think you're doing a great job, Bill.
Yeah, my computer. Let me see. She's at 5%, so I don't want to mess with her. She's got my laptop's been out here in my shop this whole time, and the battery was completely dead when I came out here. And it's got this little cord that you plug it in, but it's kind of a loose fit. So man, you got to hold your mouth just right for it to charge. And if it moves a little bit, man, it comes off the charge. So man, it took me a good 15 minutes just to get the damn thing to boot up. And man, she's rocking and rolling. She's at 5% now. So but yeah, you got to hold your mouth just right on this little cord to plug in the laptop to get it to charge, or otherwise, man, all these lights start flashing. You're on low power mode. Computer's about to shut, and so. But,
well, when man, we get the bonus from last year for the show, man, we're getting new chargers for our equipment.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get a plug for my mic. Man, we're going to be uptown. I mean, we're getting all this accomplished on, man, just the Temu bundle.
Well, I'll tell you this, I didn't really realize it, but, just this platform that we use to actually go live and connect all of us, man, it's almost $1,000 a year, man, I kind of forgotten about it when I signed up for it, but they auto renewed me, and my wife's like, man, what's this charge for? Man, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's that expensive, but yeah, man, it's like $800 or $900 just to, and just for us to go live every week. So we appreciate all the donations. They go to a good cause. So.
Don't sound like we're getting new chargers.
Don't, man. We're trying to pay the bills over here, man. Maybe Carl can donate with all the big winnings, So.
I'm telling you. I mean, at least a charger.
At least a charger is right. So.
I mean, he only had like 8 walks or something. I don't know.
Man, I don't think he ever sat down once he started walking, Man,
so. I'm like, are they playing his songs? They still playing his song? No, he just got another walk.
Yeah. But he told us before awards started, he goes, man, I'm going to no walk RGC this thing. You guys just watch.
He was way off.
Better than no walk in RGC it, that's for sure.
Yeah, he was way off.
Yeah,
sorry to disappoint you, Carl. You weren't even close.
Here we go. We got some chargers coming in from our smoking and toasting. He got a handful of 5th places all over the weekend. He was 5th in every category, I think. So.
Thanks, Caesar. 5th in everything, but overall, I think he finished 3rd, didn't he?
He was 3rd overall. Yep.
And 5th in about everything else, I think.
I think he had a 5th brisket and maybe a 5th rib, or maybe a 5th chicken. Maybe, I don't know.
Man, it's a great contest. 200 teams. Man, a lot of heavy hitters down there. I've been fortunate to do well at that contest. I got another walk this year. I got an 8th chicken, and man, I'll tell you what, Bill. Like, I told Carmen, I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm worried about that chicken. I figured if we could just get around chicken, we'd have a good day. And man, when I got an 8th chicken call, I'm like, oh shit, look out, And man, that was it for me on the night. Man, those finishes were about opposite of what I figured they'd be. So what do I know? But still, nonetheless, happy to get an 8th chicken, and man, a 200 team contest. Man, it's always good to hear your name called. You had a good day.
Yeah, I did, and it's crazy how it's crazy how tight them fucking scores were too up at the top. Just to get a top 10 call, you practically needed to almost have a perfect score. Man,
Man,
I
it had an
was
American Royal vibe to it.
man,
I
it
mean,
did. I think my brisket was probably a 198 out of 200, and it was eighth place.
man, I was at
Uh,
196 and some change, and man, I was all the way down to 24th, right? So I
yeah,
mean, score wise, and I'm happy to see. Normally happy to see that week in and week out, but they were
yeah.
extremely high this weekend. It was the opposite of Seguin. Seguin, they were really low, with a lot of really
Yeah.
good teams there, and then man, you go down here and they were really high. So you just never know, I guess.
Yeah, they man, I got in there. I thought too, I was like, man, if I can get a chicken call, I felt really good about everything else. I probably felt the best about my pork. But lo and behold, man, I don't know where I was. I was a 190 something in chicken, but man, it wasn't enough to register that top 10. But ribs and brisket got in there, and man, the rib box was kind of a mess. It wasn't exactly they wouldn't stay stacked on top of one
You
another.
rednecked it. You pulled
I
the move.
totally freaking KP them bastards. And I'm looking at it going, how do they give me tens on appearance, man? These things were, man, they were a struggle bus to stay on top of one another. And, but yeah, man, I wasn't going to complain. I'll take it. I knew the ribs were, I knew the ribs were cooked good, and I knew they were, the moisture was good and all the rest of it. So I felt confident. And Stacy was the same way with his ribs. He's like, man, I really wasn't. And he brought me his rib, and man, Stacy, man, he had a great rib. And he ended up getting first place rib, but he was the same way. Man, my rib box didn't look the best, but he goes, they are to walk. And sure enough, they did. They ended up getting first. So,
Man, they did. And did you try his rib?
did I try his rib?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I tried Stacy's rib, man. He man,
Did
he
you like
popped
your
him
rib
up.
better or his rib better?
Man, I thought his rib was a little better. I really did. I
They
thought
got it right.
I thought Stacy's rib was a little better. So I think his just had a little bit depth or flavor. I think tenderness wise, we were both about the same, but I felt like his just had a little bit stronger of a flavor that would leave a mark on a judge. So
Nice. Yeah, you
yeah,
gotta leave them something they'll remember it. Those big ones like that. What would you say on your tenderness, Bill? We're gonna shig on you a little bit. Were they soft or man right
they
there?
were soft, and they were
Really?
soft. They were soft. But I've been cooking these IBPs, man, and I tell you, I really notice a difference, and that's what Stacy cooked as well was IBPs. I just notice a difference in the flavor of the meat of the IBP versus the Smithfields or the Prairie Dogs or whatnot. And man, and they're not mushy soft. I mean, they're soft, but they're not like a Smithfield. Sometimes if I mash on a Smithfield pretty hard, man, it'll get a little mush. And these IBPs they don't seem to have that mushness, but they're still super soft. There's G Walk came in with
Thank
two.
you all.
He came in with two walks coming in
Man, he had
strong.
a
G
great week.
Walk. Yeah, he did.
It was nice to see him do well. And he's got a tough go for sure. Man, it's nice to see him do well. Congrats, buddy.
Yeah.
And IBP's
There he
are
is. IBP got him third place rib. He got a third rib with the IBPs, so.
man. Yeah. And you guys aren't having any problems finding them. I've seen a lot of IBPs lately, and they've been on the thinner side, just the ones I've come across or whatnot.
Now I'm having to dig through them. I mean, I went today to get stuff for, we cooked up some blackened catfish tonight, and man, I dug through. They had a bunch of IBPs at HEB, but man, I only found 2 racks that were, thick enough that I felt that I'd want to, put in a judge's mouth at Victoria this weekend. So
Always forward. Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate it, buddy.
yeah, congrats on the call, Brandon.
Man, I think what was it, a second?
He got in there on pork, yeah. So
Congrats, buddy.
But yeah, I've just been tell me more, Hatcher. I picked up some IBPs.
Kevin said he's been finding them at Sam's.
Yeah.
Man, funny enough, I'm going to Sam's tomorrow, so I'm glad you mentioned that, Kevin. So, man, I thought I would just make the rounds and hit 2 or 3 of them just to see. I'll see you there. What's up, Bubba? Running board in the house.
Yeah, running board. He got in there. We heard his song. Hell yeah. He was
He's
there.
rocking some new gear.
You know,
He was there making some noise.
out there.
There's G-Walk, $9-10 unlimited in Richmond. But yeah, and I think that's what we're gonna cook at Houston. Me and Stacy, we're gonna, man, we're throwing the IBPs, and I think that was his first go at IBPs, and man, he fell in love with them. You know, he was claiming first place rib before we ever went to awards with those ribs. You know, so.
Man, I tell you what, Bill. Remember back, like San Antonio was just a few weeks ago, and man, I wasn't super happy with the ribs I had once I got into them. Yep. You're like, man, I got a bunch of ribs over there, and man, I'm pretty sure it was a rack of IBPs I nabbed off of you, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, yeah.
Man, I ain't running IBPs this weekend. We're starting to narrow this down.
Did you turn in those IBPs at San Antonio or no?
Look, I'll be honest with you. I don't know, but I bet I did. You know what I mean? Once they get on the board, I don't keep up with brands or ribs or, you know, I'm just evaluating what I have in front of me.
Right.
And hopefully selecting the, you know, I use my hands a lot to feel texture, and obviously you can see the moisture. Man, I would bet I would, because man, I told you we laid out 6 or 8 racks, and you know, you pick some, I picked some, and you picked what you wanted. I'm like, man, I would have picked these first, you know, the whichever ones, you know. I mean, which you had a lot of good ribs available, so man, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Can you pick me up some IBPs this week?
Hey, what, I just started my search
into surplus, huh?
You know, I just started my search. Man, and I usually, man, I don't show up because I don't really trim ribs before I get to the contest. So, man, I usually have extras just because in case I open something and it's smelling or whatever, I've got something to fall back on. So,
for sure,
man, I'll still be making the rounds. That's for damn sure. So, I ain't done. I picked up 2 today, but man, I ain't done looking at them. You know. But yeah,
there's Big Hat in the comments. And can't go wrong with a little compart. Man, you're right. I love me some compart too, but they can be tough to find around these parts.
You don't really run across them.
We're a little bit far south from Minnesota, so they're a little tougher to come across in the groceries.
And I didn't turn in my burn ends. Thank God I didn't turn in my burn ends. I felt like they were just a little bit fatty, you know, and even though I knocked the fat off the bottom, they just looking at them and touching them and turning them over. All I could see was a lot of, you know, gel fat and like congealed fat on the bottom and kind of, you know, in the fibers. And it just seemed like, and I didn't taste it. It just seemed like it was going to be too fatty of a bite. And just from looking at it, and man, so I left them out and didn't turn them in. And then I finished them, and, you know, I sauced them, and just like I would that way, man, they were ready if I decided last minute to turn them in or whatever. But man, Stacy came in my trailer, and it was an old point. It wasn't the point off of the brisket that I cooked. It was, I'd brought a point with me, and man, he tasted it, man. He got it out of his mouth. He goes, man, that's rotten. You sure you didn't turn it in? Man, I promise I didn't turn it. He goes, man, you're so lucky. Those things are fucking rotten. And man, I never even tasted them, you know. I just didn't turn them in because I was looking at them and seeing all the fat in them that wouldn't come out. He's like, oh, they're terrible, you know. So, man, I'm so lucky. Man, I probably would have tasted them if I was going to put them in the box, but man, just from looking at them, I thought, man, they got too much fat. I'm not putting them in. They're just going to be a fat blob in somebody's mouth. So, man, ended up working out. So.
You would have got first if you'd have turned them in. What do we know, right?
Man, I tell you, you know, so I tried to pull a move on my chicken, but I was flipping it, trying to give it the old KP freaking double clutch. And man, I think it was, I don't know if it was 30th or something. It got a good score. It won no, it didn't. I don't think it won the table. Maybe it was second or third on the table. So, but man, I double clutched it as much as I could, you know, so trying to pull a KP off, but it still didn't look as good as his double clutch. So,
Man, he's been practicing that move for a while, Bill.
Yeah, he's
That
got
ain't
it down.
something you pull off on the first try. That's
Right.
about 30 years of experience that you did. Speaking of
Yeah.
pulling the double clutch, redneck backside, Pope got him one this weekend. Old Canned Heat came in there and sneaked up to the Cody and dusted him off. Back to his old ways.
He went over to the Lone Star, dusted him off, and won him a free spot at the Austin Rodeo with it.
I'm telling you, man, he's a sneaker.
He called me up. Hey, I got a free spot, Austin Rodeo. So
I asked him how much he made. He goes, all right, it wasn't that much, this and that. And, a few hours later, he called me, I'm going to get a new trailer. I'm getting this, I'm getting that. I'm like, man, how much you say you want to get at that cook-off, man? I think they paid about 10 grand.
It's unlike him to be freaking unfolding his wallet like that. That's for sure.
I'm telling you, man. I don't know. I ain't figured it out yet. It's out of the norm. He's up to something. Yeah. He's up to something, and I ain't figured it out. It's all going to click at some point when it comes together. I don't know. He'll let it out of the bag.
I tell you, man, one thing, we need to give a big apology to Shane. Next week, we're going to have Damn Yankee on.
Next week, we'll probably have Shane on, people. No promises, but we plan on having Shane on next week.
He's only been bumped 4 or 5 times.
So. Yeah. We were going to have him on in December and then, several weeks in January. And, man, Carl decided to, post a high score all time. And then, sorry, Shane.
Now, if G-Walt wins this weekend, we might have his
Shane, one more week, buddy. One
more week. If my boy G-Walt gets in there, I'm getting his crazy ass on the fucking show, So there's a sympathy vote. You better hope G-Walt don't win this weekend, Shane. If G-Walt wins or RGCs, he's coming in hot, I don't even know if G-Walt's cooking Victoria, but he better be, So
we did have some questions in the comments, Bill. We got off the ribs too quick. Somebody asked, let's see. Man, they were saying, is there a particular weight you look for on the ribs? I saw the comment, but I can't find it right now.
Man, I don't look for a particular weight. I feel them and feel how thick they are, and I also, sometimes, man, because a lot of the IBPs we're getting here at the HEB, man, they're already cut down to St. Louis. And some of them have really big, that skirt piece that you cut off a lot of times. And then other ones, man, don't have any skirt, So I'm cautious of, if I do look at a weight, man, how much skirt meat's on this mug, So I'm really just kind of feeling them for thickness. And, man, I don't really pay that close attention to the weight. I want a nice thick rib. But one of the ones I picked up today probably wasn't, man, it probably didn't weigh very much, but it wasn't very long. It was kind of a shorty, but it was thick. So, man, sometimes you can get a big old long rib. It weighs a lot, but man, there's a lot of ribs in there that I ain't using. So, just kind of factor in a bunch of different calculations when you're touching them and feeling them. So,
me and you both, man, I couldn't tell you the weight of any ribs I ever cook. I never even look. So yeah. They're just not the same in the package. It's not like a chicken where you're looking for that weight. You're going to fold out a whole chicken. Like you said, it could be, they could be full spares. They can be longer than others. You got shorties. You got that belly flap in there. G-Walt likes the 4.20s. That's a good size, if you're into that. So yes, David, I'm going to Minnesota, not this weekend, but next weekend. So I'm going to come play on the ice with you boys. Save me a jacket, would you? I heard it's going to be cold. I talked to Jeff Shiggin and grinning today. He said it was -17. So,
ouch.
It could be chilly. I got some ice fishing lined up. Shit, who knows?
Right.
Minnesota.
Yeah, I don't think the IBPs are, pre-marinated or pre-soaked. They're not, they're not. I don't think they're in any kind of solution. They're not like an extra tender Smithfield or whatever. So, man, and down here they're just cheap too, man. They're, man, it's $10 for a rack of ribs, $8-9 for a rack of ribs. They're not expensive, and I feel like they just got great flavor. But man, that changes. Right now our HEBs have a bunch of IBPs, so that's what I'm cooking. But man, there's times that I know last week when I was at Humble, And I felt like, man, I had a great rig. That wasn't an IBP. That was an HEB natural. I think I'd cooked 2 IBPs and 1 HEB natural. And man, I felt like that HEB natural had the best texture. So, I like IBPs, but at the same time too, man, I ain't going to just discard anything else. If it's got good marbling, which, man, that natural had great marbling, and it may be a Swift. Man, I think sometimes those HEB naturals are Swifts, but it had great marbling, and man, the texture was great, and man, that guy was on top. So,
are you able to keep up with them, Bill? Like if you got 2?
Yeah, because I only cook 3.
Yeah.
So, and I'll have 2 longs and a shorty, and I'll usually know, man, do I have 1 long HEB natural, 1 long IBP, and the shorty's an IBP. So it's usually pretty easy for me to keep up with which what. This weekend I had a Smithfield and 2 IBPs, and the Smithfield was a long one. The IBP was a long one, and my little shorty at the end of my pan was an IBP. So, man, I just felt like the IBPs were better. So, man, the Smithfield hit the dust. So.
That's why we don't just cook one.
Yeah, and I do like to throw in another little brand in there and not just be all pot committed on one, just to, have options. I like a little options. So,
man, for sure. Well, shoot, we're 22 minutes into it. What do you think?
I think we ought to bring in the big boy, where everybody came to see. Everybody came to shig off of him, Let's see. There he is. He's in a dark hotel room, striping parking lots across the country. What do you say, Carl Davis?
Hello, guys.
How's it going, bud?
Mountain Dews ready
I
for
got my Mountain Dew.
Where are you at, Carl? You at the house? You at a hotel, or where you at?
I'm at a hotel in Brownsville.
Oh, you're in Brownsville. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, back in the valley.
You just stayed down there and partied all week, huh?
No, we worked in Corpus last night.
So is it sunk in yet, Carl? What's happened?
Kinda.
Yeah. Carl was in my trailer. He was in my trailer Friday night. He says, "Bill, I think I'm doing pretty good for the amount of time I'm cooking." I said, "Carl, you're doing great." Then he goes and peels this thing off,
That was what, number 78, Carl?
79. 79.
Man, I know it took me more than 79 cook-offs to win a world championship. So, yeah, man, I'd say you're doing pretty good.
Right. Oh, we got a donation from Shane. Buy Carl a TV fund. Thanks, Shane. Carl's on his computer, I think, man. Send me that link or an email. I think I'm gonna get onto this computer,
Appreciate it, Shane.
Yeah.
You can't buy your way on next week. If you get bumped, you get bumped. You know what I mean?
You might be able to buy your way on next week.
I did word that wrong. It could be done. I don't know what it'll take, but we'll see.
All right. Well, let's talk about the cook, Carl, man. Let's see, man. Shit. What kind of ribs did you cook, man? That's
Perry Fresh.
Oh, there you go.
IDP.
Yeah. And what'd you walk in ribs? What place did you get ribs?
Fourth, but all 4 of us top ones tied. First 2.
Yeah, y'all were all tied, huh?
Yeah, on ribs and pork.
Yep.
Tied on everything but the checks.
So you cooked a Prairie Fresh rib and a Prairie Fresh pork as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. See. I'm taking you out, Shane, says G Walt. And on your chickens, what'd you do on chicken? Were you a half chicken or legs or thighs or
half chicken and boneless wings?
Oh, you did the boneless wings. Okay. Yeah. I think I actually did see your boxes. You posted them on Facebook. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I posted them Saturday right after I turned them in a little ways.
Yeah. Sorry, Carl.
Did we freeze or what? I think Phil may froze up on us.
I think he did.
Yeah. So how did you feel about the cook though, Carl? I mean, did feel like you nailed everything, or were you worried about any meat in particular, or how did it go?
Actually, I thought my brisket did the best, but I wasn't disappointed in any of them when I turned them in. And
So you felt like they were all good. Yeah.
then when I didn't get a brisket call, I'm like, oh shit, maybe I really fucked that thing up.
Right. Well, shit, you still scored a 196 or something, huh?
Yeah. 21st place, 196.
Yeah.
But he didn't know that till he got it till later, till they posted the scores. Right. So tell us this, Carl. You're sitting there with a 4th chicken. You're sitting there with a 4th rib. Man, at that point, how are you feeling? Like at that point, walk us through some of the emotions. I like to hear whatever's going through your mind at that time.
Well, it started out like Bill said earlier. Stacy Brenham asked me, he said, how'd your cook go? I'm like, shit, I'm pretty sure I can no walk RGC this. So when I got the chicken call, I come back and he's like, you ain't no walking RGC. And I said, well, fuck, I'll just win it then. And that was a joke. And then I got the chicken call and I was happy. If it would have ended there, I'd been happy. And then I got the rib call and I'm like, oh shit, I got a chance to be in the top 10 on this. And then the pork got called. And I'm like, oh shit, I got a chance to be in the top 5 or 3. Then I didn't get a brisket call and I'm like, oh man, I fucked something up. I just hope.
But were you keeping up with it and realize that nobody else had 3 calls? Did you have that? Were you able to?
Well, see, I thought G-Wall and Double S had 3 calls. And then he got.
I don't think they did. I think they had 2.
Yeah, well, I found that out later. First place call on brisket. No. Right. He got a high brisket call, didn't he?
Who?
Double S.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he got like 3rd or 4th brisket.
And then it really had me worried then.
And he had a first chicken too. Double S had first chicken and he had a strong top 5 brisket call as well. Yeah.
Well, look, I know because you told me, and man, you did something you don't normally do, and man, you liked your burn-ins, and you turned in your burn-ins, and you hadn't been turning them in, right?
No, this is like the 5th time out of about 50 cooks I've turned them in. I usually throw them in the trash.
So you normally don't, but you liked them, and you did turn them in. You're sitting there with 3 walks.
Yep.
And then you don't get a brisket walk. Man, you gotta be creeping in your mind going, oh shit, I hope I didn't screw myself, right? I mean, is that the thought?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I kind of had the math worked out. I think everybody else there had the math worked out. You never know what's going to happen, but man, I felt like pretty early on in awards we were all chasing Carl, and it just continued to go that way. Oh, there we go. Shoot, I'm dry, boys. I'm about to have to make a refill over here.
And then Amanda got that 1 call RGC.
Yeah, he did.
They hadn't called G-Walt at that time. I know he had 2 nice walks, and man, I thought he might be reserved, but man, yeah, I couldn't keep up with Laredo Roofing Solutions. I think he had a 6 chicken, so he wouldn't walk that RGC.
Yeah.
But man, I felt like I felt like you had it wrapped up, and little did we know you had a 196 to easily wrap it up. And we talked about it later. I mean, I said, man, what'd you win by? Like, man, 8 or 9 points. And Carl promptly says, man, I won by 8.42 points. He's already done some of the hard math for us.
Yeah. Man, I thought I was in the mix till they called me for 4th. And at that point, then I thought Carl's probably got it.
Bill said, don't count me out yet.
Yeah.
Man, look, 2 walks is, man, normally you get 2 walks at that contest, and man, you're in really, really good shape. Man, this year, there were a lot of teams with 2 walks. I don't know how many there were, but there were quite a few. It felt like 7 or 8 teams had 2 walks. Yeah, and there were a lot of teams with 2 walks that didn't make the top 10. The scores were high. A lot of people were walking. So it was kind of hard to say what was going to happen. But, man, I only had 1 team with 3 walks. So Carl dropped the hammer for sure.
And how many teams overall was there? Was there 190 or what was the number? What was the end up number? Do y'all know?
I don't know.
It was 181. But I'll look it up. I'll fact check it while you are talking.
Yeah. We all knew Carl the thing wrapped up when the mariachi band stopped playing. I didn't think that mariachi band was ever going to stop playing. You know.
Man, I can still hear a few of the songs, and man, if they would have just played the last one over and over, I think we'd all been fine. But man, there's just some we like a little bit more. Some of them have a little bit more of the mariachi feel to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 181. I just looked it up. So 181 teams.
Yeah.
Little light
and you want a free entry to Memphis in May. Is that right? I think you want a free entry.
No, it's only a discounted entry of $250.
Okay. But it's an entry, a guaranteed entry.
Right.
Which is, man, usually you got to apply and you don't know if you're going to get accepted or not. So you do have a guaranteed entry.
Yep.
And are you going to cook the Memphis, Carl?
I'm still checking into it.
Are you? Okay.
Yep.
And shit, what's your schedule looking like? Are you cooking this weekend or are you taking it off?
I cook Victoria.
You're going to Victoria?
Yeah, and then George West probably. CBA don't have one this weekend.
There's one in Victoria and there's one in George West, or what?
Well, Victoria and Senton this weekend, they're both IBCAs. And then next weekend is George West, and it's a CBA.
I got you. Well, I think we got this weekend, and then after that, it's Houston Rodeo, huh? So,
yeah.
I'll be at Houston, but I think this weekend I'm gonna go down to Victoria and play with some IBCA. You know, work on my half chicken. I may have to call you this week and shig a little half chicken recipe off of you. You know, and you ain't gotta say it online because you already told me what you replaced it with. But it seems to be working out. You know. Did you do anything different on any of your other meats, Carl? Did you, or you were just running your same old rib?
Actually, not this weekend, but the weekend before in Laredo, I changed all my recipes, and they did good in Laredo. I got a perfect chicken, 11th rib, and I think a 6th pork,
right,
and an 18th brisket. So I decided to run them recipes again down there, and smoking on the Rio, and they did good there too. So I'll run them in Victoria and see what they do.
Right. Were they big changes, Carl, or no?
Oh yeah. They started all over except for the sauce.
Oh shit. Damn it, boy.
Yahtzee.
Oh shit. You flipped them all upside down and started from scratch, huh?
Yep.
Well, it looks like you landed on your feet with them. That's for damn sure. So
not complaining about them.
Right.
Well, shit, not to be man, you did wreck house down there, Carl, but man, I think everybody was expecting you to win the beans. And it didn't work out.
Kicked in beans.
And fuck them beans, you said. Nobody cares about the beans, huh?
I didn't after that point. But
right.
I got like a 35th bean.
Can't win them all, huh? And
I thought they called you out for 4th or 5th bean. No, you end up getting 35th or what?
I got 35th. What the deal was, they was calling them guys up there to get their checks, and it took me a little bit to get up there. And then when I started going up there, they started to call 4th place bean. They're like, "Oh, there he is, Carl Davis."
Okay,
that's how everybody got confused. But no, I got 35th bean.
Well, it made so much more sense to everybody if you would have been 4th in beans. Like, well, I expected him to win, but he got 4th. Not I expected him to win, and he got 35th. Because, man, you won a couple first place beans last year, didn't you, Carl?
Yeah.
How many did you win?
25 first place beans.
25 first place beans?
Yes.
Do you know how many times you cooked beans last year?
36, I think.
So 25 out of 36 times it was first place.
Yeah, it might have been 37.
He's on them beans, man, big time. You know.
Well, beans Carl's a bean cooking fool. I can say that.
And he helped me. He helped me with my beans at San Antonio, and they got me that 3rd place banner. Which, man, I gave him the banner because he gave me so much help on my beans.
He's bean king for sure.
Yeah.
Well, man, I tell you what, we hadn't really announced it, but I don't mind, Carl. I don't know if you want to talk about it, but you got a little bean seasoning going on, don't you?
Yeah, it should be out. Probably 8 weeks.
Yeah,
8
6
weeks.
or 8. Huh? Yeah, Carl's decided to put it in a shaker, man. It won't be long. We'll have cast iron cooker pinto bean season out on the market. We teamed up on this one, so we'll release it under the LC umbrella, and man, right there on the label is going to say cast iron cookers pinto bean seasoning, and man, that's what Carl's used to win those 25 first. Man, it doesn't even feel right saying that many in a year's time, Carl. Like, man, I didn't even know if there was 25 cook-offs that had beans in a year's time, and you won that many first place.
It carried my barbecue last year.
Sure did. Sure did.
Yep.
Yeah, you made some serious coin off them bean contests last year, didn't you?
Yep. I got 3rd at smoking in the Rio last year.
Did you?
Just saying, no big deal.
No big deal for sure.
Man, I think you ought to audit this year. It can't be right.
Right.
You have a picture of that shaker, Bill?
I do. Man, I don't know how to put it on the screen, so I'll text it to Bill.
Yeah, texted me. We'll throw the shaker up there, or hit me to a Facebook Messenger.
All right, yeah, it's on the way. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. Now let's go visual. There you go, Bill.
All right, let's see for it to come through. I got something coming.
Thing.
Oh yeah.
How's the charger on the computer, Bill? Is the charger hanging in there?
Yeah, I think so, man. I'm at let me look. I'm at 20%, so we're in good shape.
Man, I think we don't need new chargers. We're good.
Yeah, 20%. Let me see if I can pull up a bean footage here. Add overlay.
While you're pulling it up, Will wants to know, what do you cook your chicken on, Carl?
I cooked it on a pellet grill this weekend.
Man, that's a new move, huh? You cook it on your pit a lot of times, don't you?
Yeah, the last 3 contests, I cooked it on the pellet grill, though.
Yeah, shit there you have it.
There it is, boys. Cast iron pinto bean seasoning right there.
Oh, yeah, it looks great, Carl. That looks good.
Yeah, shit, yeah. So
super cool.
Right.
Thanks for sharing that with the world, man. I think everybody's beans are about to get better. the contest judges, thank you for releasing the bean seasoning.
What do you cook your beans on, Carl? Instapot? You do a crock pot bean or no?
No, I do electric hot plate.
Okay. Regular old pot, huh?
Yep.
Oh shit.
It's not too late. They're not printed yet. They're heavy pencil, but they're not printed yet. So
Yep.
Pull up that beautiful bean footage, man. You would have won bean in Laredo, but you got second because you got dinged on appearance, huh, Carl?
Yeah.
Fuckers.
I don't know how you make beans look different.
You gotta fluff them.
I guess.
I can tell you how to get 79th bean.
That's what you ended up with, Mercedes?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And I had comments galore. And beans are hard. Beans are hard. Beans are hard. You know, I had 3 comments. Yeah, they got me on tenderness. You know,
I never got there, Bill.
Then I was trying to turn in a little. You know, I wanted a little bit of a bean. You know, I didn't want to mush them. You know, I've tasted kits. I wanted a little bit of structure, but apparently I gave them too much structure. You know, they're looking for some softies. You know, so KP probably would have won beans with his soft ones, you know. So
They wanted the soft beans down there, huh?
yeah, they were a soft crowd, you know. So
Well, somebody told me the snowbirds weren't judging this year. I knew I was in trouble. I'm like, whoa, man, normally they're down here. You know, we had 90 degrees and they left.
There's already said they were pebbles. He tried my beans. He said they were a little hard.
They hadn't quite hydrated fully yet.
Oh, they were a little, you know, fucking Pebble Tech. You could have made a fucking pool bottom out of them, I think, you know.
Just put a little grout between them.
Make a fucking sidewalk, you know, back to the camp, you know.
That's good stuff.
Let me grab a drink, boys. Y'all, if y'all got any questions for World Champion Carl, you better get them in the comments. So
yeah, man, shit. I figure they'd be diving into the new motor. Carl's breaking out moves left and right, man. They're not biting on it, so I don't know. Anyway, you got Victoria coming this weekend, right, Carl? I'll see you there. I plan on cooking Victoria too. And man, they got beans.
George West,
and they got beans there, so. Yeah, I'm good for cooking beans once or twice a year. Man, I might do it on the beans on a 3-meter with 1.5-hour turn-ins.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything else besides that? They got a few ancillaries, don't they?
I'm just going to do the beans and the 3 meats.
Yeah, I think I am too. I don't want to turn it into work. What do you got after that? What's the schedule look like for the next month or so? Do you know yet?
I'm going to do George West. And I'm going to do Trophy Hunters. I just don't remember what day Trophy Hunters is on.
Trophy Hunters is the same weekend as Houston Rodeo. So it'd be like March 1st, I think.
Okay.
Off the top of my head.
So you won't be at Trophy Hunters?
No, I'll be in Houston. Yeah. I'll be at Trophy Hunters. I like that contest. But, man, apparently, and I cooked Houston and Trophy Hunters last year. And I guess for whatever reason this year it's happened to fall on the same weekend. So, you know, we'll have to miss it this year. So
what time's Bean turn in Victoria, Carl?
I think it's
10.
11. 10?
11?
No, I think it's 11. I was looking earlier. I remember 11, but we'll fact check it. I don't know.
Yeah,
could be wrong, but I think it's 11.
Right.
I'll look it up.
I hope it's 11.
Yeah, because you got that system down pat. You get up pretty early to do your beans, don't you?
4 o'clock. If it's 11 o'clock turn in, I hate them 3 o'clock mornings.
4 o'clock in the morning, just to be clear. Well,
yeah,
good news.
Beans are at 11.
Beans are at 11. Good news.
Yeah.
So does that keep it on track?
Beans
are at 11. That's a 4 o'clock wake up call.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, we're gonna have to
Early
figure
bird
something
gets
else
the worms. All I can say.
Yeah.
Man, how many teams are in Victoria? Do y'all know, Carl? You normally know these things.
Yeah, Carl keeps tabs on it.
Somebody told me today there's 35.
Okay.
Listed or 37, something like that.
I tried to call the promoter today. I didn't get a hold of her. Man, we'll try again tomorrow. I assume they're not cutting it off and we can show up and on the day of, I guess. But it's kind of really all I wanted to know.
Man, I hadn't registered yet either, so shit.
Neither have I, and it don't say nothing about a cutoff.
Man, G. Walt said come cook his chicken in Houston.
Right.
And he's ready for a bottle of rub this weekend. Love you.
What, brother?
Serge has a question. Is your bean a churro type bean, Carl?
Yes, sir.
There you go. He's giving it away.
There's John. He said there'll be as many spots as needed. That's his hometown. So chopping block. So.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, John.
Which John had a good outing. John had a good outing at Smoking on the Rio. He had a first place pork and a brisket call. So he was flipping out, which was always cool to see people flip out, you know.
Man, it is. And he was right there in our corner. And
yeah,
I think he said, he goes, man, if I get a walk, I'm taking off the shirt. Right on cue. He
Yeah.
did. He got a big walk, and man, the shirt came off.
I think his best walk was that freaking Panda Campo or whatever that he thought he had won.
Oh, he didn't win that?
No,
It was the same song.
It was some kind of ticket number situation or something. I don't know.
Okay, that's right. I forgot about that. Man, he was halfway up there, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, man. He was halfway up there. I thought, God damn, he done won the Panda Campo, the little friggin' hot bread contest. You know? Boy can cook a biscuit, you know. Fuck, you know. I give him big ups just for fucking trying it and cooking the son of a bitch, you know.
Shit, Sergio said I used Carl's margarita mix in San Antonio Rodeo and got 9. I don't know if that's a true story or not.
Right.
Yeah, it's strawberry lemonade.
Yeah. I mean, so that takes us to this next. Like, Carl, I know this because you told me this, and I was a little awestruck when you told me. You got a few cookbooks, don't you?
A few.
And define a few, Carl.
Huh?
Define a few. How many? If you had to guess how many cookbooks you have, how many do you think you have?
Between 400 and 500.
Between 400 and 500 cookbooks.
Yeah.
God, dog, Carl.
There's
Shit.
shelves of them, and there's boxes of them, and some's in the shop, some's in the house, some's in the bedroom, some's in the canning area. They're just kind of all over.
Look, I'll tell you, if I know somebody that has more cookbooks than that, I didn't know they had that many cookbooks. So, and what I'm trying to say is you have more cookbooks than anybody I know. I mean, man, I have a few cookbooks, maybe like 10 or 12, I'm thinking. You know, I mean, I hadn't counted them. Maybe 15. 500 cookbooks, Carl. And you've read all these cookbooks? You've read all these cookbooks?
Oh, hell no.
You just kind of collect them or what?
I kind of thumb through them, see if there's something I want to try to cook.
And then it goes in the box.
Yeah.
Did you get that bean recipe out of one of them 500 cookbooks, Carl?
Nope.
No. Okay.
It just took me a while to play with and figure out.
Yeah.
Man, I think there needs to be a cast iron cooker's cookbook. Man, I think Carl needs to come out with a cookbook.
Are they mostly cast iron cookbooks or no? Are they
Do
mostly
what?
cast? Are they mostly cast iron cookbooks? Like
No,
cooking
there's
with cast
probably
iron?
only 30 or 40 of them cast iron cookbooks.
Only 30 or 40 of them cast iron.
And do you have a favorite cookbook author out of all those 500 that you think is, man, this person puts out some pretty good cookbooks?
No.
No. Okay. All right. No.
But my family, they put out one last year, and I ain't got to go through it yet, but I'll probably start trying stuff out of it.
Man, I find that fascinating. Carl, man, you just never know what's going to come out of Carl, man. I mean, like, man, we're sitting there talking one day. He's like, I got 500 cookbooks. I'm like, what? Who has 500 cookbooks?
Man, how many pieces of cast iron do you have? How many pieces of cast iron do you have?
The last time we counted them, there was 1,300.
1,300 pieces of cast iron. Man, he's got 25 first place beans last year. He's got 500 cookbooks, and he's got over 1,300 pieces of cast iron in his collection. The most interesting man in barbecue, Carl Davis.
and he makes moonshine. He's always got moonshine for sale.
I forgot.
Oh, I don't know if we can publicize that, but man,
yeah, I got.
We don't want to.
Yep, I got moonshine. We can publicize it. If you want to hit me up, $20 a jar. Oh shit, we're used to breaking rules on this show. www.shigginfrymoonshinesales.com. Fuck it.
Right.
Non-monetized again. Bootlegging moonshine on the show.
Oh shit.
It's too funny.
Well, I'll tell you, and Carl's an avid watcher of the show, man. He texts me every week. There's going to be a show this week, Bill? Yes, there's going to be a show. Or man, is there going to be a backstage? Is there going to be? He's always backstage if we do a backstage. He's a big Carl's a big supporter of the show. So, man, and hopefully some of the stuff on the shows helped you out in the barbecue, Carl, because you watch pretty much every episode, so.
Yep.
Well, shit, I'm trying to skim through here, checking the questions to see what the Shiggers are saying. Man, we got Twisted D. Donnie's checking in from Costa Rica, I guess. He figured out how to get internet service down there.
Oh, shit.
How many fish we catch today, Donnie? We need an update. G. Walt said, this dude's the greatest. Never know what you're getting. He's the genius swing blade and one of my favorite dudes, Epic. That's so funny.
Here we go. Here's a question. Carl, what temp you taking your chicken half off at?
I don't tempt the chicken when the wing comes back down.
No, there you go. All right. Old school. Wait for that wing to settle.
I'll tell you what. Tried and true.
It works.
There's another one. What type of brisket do you cook, Carl? There's another one.
Snake Rivers.
Snake River. There's Hatcher wanting to get in some chicken. Let's get in some chicken. He's got his notebook ready. Hatcher's getting ready for Houston. So,
what do you want to know about that chicken, Chris? Man, let's ask him some pointed questions to see if we can get him to bite on it.
Yeah.
Man, he said he's already doing boneless wings. You care to talk about them? How long you been doing boneless wings, Carl?
Oh, probably 6 months.
Those have done well for you, right? There's a few people out there doing boneless wings.
Yep.
Yeah. There's the RGC right there. Mondo. Congratulations, brother. Mondo got a big RGC. Yeah.
Monster.
Never saw it coming with the one call, chicken call, and called him out for RGC. He was blindsided. You got to love that when that happens, So.
Yeah, that's a good feeling when you don't think it's coming for sure.
There's a pointed question. How long you brining your chicken, Carl?
12 hours.
There you go, Shane. 12. Yeah. Of course, Shane had a big second place chicken in Humble,
Chris
Maybe
Hatcher,
right
is it salty?
A little bit.
What's the flavor profile on there? Andy wants to know.
It's a little bit salty, not bad. It ain't sweet at all.
Man, here's a real question. Is there Mountain Dew moonshine lined up for the future?
I wish.
He said, I wish. Man, I don't know if you could handle any Mountain Dew moonshine, Carl. We've seen you on the moonshine, man. It was dicey.
Yeah, I'd get hyped up and dicey.
Hyped up and dicey. Don't dare Carl to do shit on moonshine and Mountain Dew.
Oh, shit.
So how do you take the bones out of the wings or do it after it's
do it
good?
right before I butter bath them with a pair of needle nose pliers.
Man, there you have
Before
it.
they go into the butter bath. I got you. There you go.
Man, he's giving out gold, people.
He is. Yeah.
Don't pay attention. Man, Tom said he tried the pecan moonshine and it was fire last year in Cuero.
Oh, the pecan pie. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. Man, we got a Carl story here too. First time I met Carl, he told me he had to hide all his guns before me up in Edinburgh. I thought he was the coolest dude ever after that.
Oh, yeah. Caesar called me just as I pulled in. He's like, man, if your guns are in the truck, they're searching you. So I stopped like a half a block away, and I took the guns that I remembered were in my truck, and I put them in my barbecue pit when I had that old trailer.
Uh-huh.
So I go pulling up there, and that guy asked me, he said, you got any guns in the truck? In the truck? He said, yeah. Nope. Told me to get out and go to search it. So he's in this door, and the cop's in this door, and they're all digging around. And all of a sudden, they look like a couple springs that come shooting out of the doors. He's like, you ain't got no guns in here? I said, no, sir. And he said, come here. So I walk up there, and they opened up the glove box, and there's 4 pistols. I'm like, oh, shit, my kids had my truck. I'm all the way in Edinburgh. And
You have 4 pistols in the glove box?
yeah.
Yeah. We didn't have 1 pistol in the glove box. We didn't have 2. Man, we
Yeah.
had 4.
Yeah, backup for the backup for the backup for the backup. Yeah.
And the glove box opens, pistols start falling out.
I told him, I said, hell, I live all the way in Orange Grove. It's over a 2-hour drive home. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. He said, well, you ain't coming in here. So I went and rented me a motel room, put my guns to bed, and I took the 3 out of the barbecue pit, 4 out of the glove box. I threw them in the bed and covered them up. Went out. I'm like, hell, I rented a room. I might as well stay in it tonight. So I grabbed my bag of clothes out of the back seat, and the boys had a fucking rifle laying on the back floorboard. Like, shit. So tuck it in the motel room. Yeah, I tried to go in there with 8 guns.
Oh, man, I hate to get off the guns. We got a serious question here, Cole. Man, they want to know the flavor of the sauce on the chicken. They didn't ask what the sauce was, but man, I guess they're asking what's the profile on that sauce on the chicken. If you care to say.
Sweet, smoky flavor.
Sweet smoky, there you have it.
There it is, boys. Shit.
Oh, here we go. I saw Wes was fishing in the hotel hall on his vacancy. Oh, did they have some plumbing problems?
Wes has always got plumbing problems.
And do we have another Wes story? Is he bagging? Is he got garbage bags of water of waste again or something? I don't know.
I'm sure we will before his
Man,
vacation is over with.
Man, those things follow him.
Yeah.
They follow him. Too funny.
Somebody asked how many bones you put in the box on ribs. I thought I saw something like that. 10 loaded. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh shit! It's about to get real, boys. Thanks, Eddie.
Appreciate it. Shit. There's Eddie.
I feel like I'm carrying the weight tonight.
Oh shit! Appreciate you, Eddie.
We decided to go straight bourbon. Fuck it.
Right.
Oh, here we go. Rusty Junk said, Carl, your burn-ins were great last weekend. I think he only said that to say mine were better.
He didn't burn-ins.
Man, he just wanted to say his brisket was better.
Oh, Rusty Junk got in there with a perfect brisket, huh?
Man, congrats, Chad. That's super cool, man.
Yeah.
Perfect. Shit.
That's right. That's solid.
And first was the perfect. So, man, it was a coin flip on the first and second. So,
yeah. No, it's good shit. So, Stacy ate. They were falling over on his ribs. He almost had a perfect. So,
what was Stacy's score on the ribs?
Man, I don't know.
Or something, I guess.
199 point something. So yeah. But I think first through fifth rib were all the same, weren't they, Carl, or no?
Yeah, we all tied.
Yeah.
Man, you're just trying to get me drunk at this point.
There's fucking G-Walk tipping for Eddie.
Man, $50, $2, they all drink the same. Appreciate you, G-Walk. I'm not sure that covered that sip of bourbon, but man, I still appreciate it.
Here we go. Eddie Ramirez, I got a question that might sound newbie-ish, but what exactly is savory?
Savory is not sweet. So savory is your man, I don't know.
Yeah, it's borderline salt, I mean,
well, it's more toward just I don't know. It's savory. It is savory. So literally not sweet. Man, it's your salt, pepper, garlic flavors, your umami flavor. It's not sweet flavors. So you describe things as sweet, or we describe things as savory. So opposite of that. Yeah. That's how I put it in the bucket in my head anyway, from an untrained professional. How about that? My point turned into a hockey puck. I thought Carl had brisket locked up. Man, I don't know, but Chad showed me his brisket before, like on Friday. Man, it was a tank. It was a good looking brisket. So well deserved. I mean, man, I looked at it and thought, man, I am way under brisket this weekend.
Nice
it was a nice one for sure. There we go. Umami. There we go.
What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, it means savory, Carl. It means not sweet.
It means not sweet. Let's see.
Or as Stacy said, salty balls.
I'm trying to troll and see if we have any other questions.
Yeah, normally we have, well, I say normally. And a lot of time, I say a lot of times. Sometimes we have a producer here that goes through the comments to help the flow of the show to where, man, me and Bill don't really have to scan them.
Yeah.
But we're getting better at scanning the comments because a lot of times these days we just don't have a producer.
Yeah, he's missing in action, you know.
Bill, I think you're paying him too much. Man, he's on a cruise every other week. You know.
Yeah. I think we're going to have to dock him, you know.
Man, we might have to dial back on the salary just to
right.
You know, get him back in the studio.
Right. do we know if KP cooked a nice Angus this weekend or what he cooked? Do we know?
It's KP. You know it wasn't a Wagyu.
It was a nice one.
You know how many letters Wagyu has? Man, the same amount of letters as money.
He ain't going for it. Here's a question, Carl. Do you still run your smoker with no temperature gauge?
Yeah. I got them, though. They're on the dresser. I'll put them on one of these days.
Oh, this is great. This is great, Carl. So are you telling me, and are you telling everybody out there, we got 100,000 viewers on the show tonight. Appreciate you, everyone. I'm sure we got 3 likes. This should be the obligatory, hey, hit that like and smash that like button or whatever Wes normally says on that deal. But you ran that cook-off this weekend with no temperature gauges.
Well, I got the probe that's sticking the meat and shit.
Yeah, but on the smoker, we put stuff in there, and man, it's pretty warm. We doing the field test, or
just let it eat.
Let it eat.
Let it eat.
Man,
keep throwing logs.
We make this shit too complicated sometimes, boys. Just so you know, it's in one of them cookbooks.
Yeah, just throw logs and look at wingtips and turn it in. You know?
Man, just throw them logs in there. Wait till that wing falls down, and man, she's right.
glaze it and turn it in. You know?
That's good shit.
Yeah, shit.
And on the half chicken, we got a question. Do what, Carl?
First time I met Les Johnson and was in Poteet. And, you know, I've seen other people cooking shit, but I was standing there talking to Les, and he's over there. He's got his drum. He's got his chicken on there, and he's putting blocks of wood on his wings. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He said, I'm trying to hold the wingtips down. Like, how the hell you tell when they're done then? He thought I was crazy, but you can't fucking block them down or you don't know when your chicken's done.
Right.
All right, look, so do you watch them or do you just watch when they start falling? Man, I've never used that method, and I have cooked around people that have.
It goes up.
Yeah, and then it goes up and then it goes down. So
it'll start to go down, and after it starts to go down, give it about 15 minutes, and I call it good. And they're usually still sticking up a little bit, but not far.
And never probe it once.
Nah.
Okay. Got it. Man, that's what the Shiggers want to know. Man,
that's it.
Watch the wing, let her fall, give it 15 minutes. Man, collect your cash and your trophies, boys. That's how it's done.
How many mason jars for a 4-meat cook? That's an important question. Yeah.
I don't drink during my cook.
I bet he had a bunch of mason jars after that cook.
Did you party, Carl? Did you do a little partying?
I drank a little bit this weekend.
Hey, As you should. As you should. Well deserved.
Him and old Rusty come dragging over to our camp. You know, it's probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 o'clock. They come dragging a cooler. Him and Rusty come dragging over, wanting to hang out. Fucking party it down. So we had a good time. Yeah.
It's good stuff. Lucas, what's up, buddy? From over there in Australia. He's always learning. He said, didn't know that about the wingtip. And man, we got barefoot in there. Man, chicken comes off 200 plus in the breast. Different ways to skin a cat, boys. All I can say.
There's Trainer. Oh shit, we got a lot of DQs coming this weekend.
Man, what do you mean it was DQ? That wing was down.
Yeah, Carl said it was down.
Man, shit. Go back and watch the show. It couldn't have been DQ.
Yeah.
The wing was down.
Yeah.
Man, I gave it 20 minutes. He said give it 15 minutes. I went 20 minutes after the wing was down just to make sure.
Right. You're getting a lot of congratulations in here too, Carl. So I don't know if you're seeing the comments, buddy.
Yeah, I'm seeing some of them. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Man, deservedly so. There's been a ton of congratulations. I've seen cast iron cookers all over the Facebook and the social media this weekend. And man, I think everybody's super happy to see how well you've done. And so
there's Hickle in there. Oh, Hickle showing up. There you go.
Actually,
I don't think you live too far from Lee either, do you?
No, 30, 45 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Here's a pro tip: 200 in the breast, 207 in the thigh.
There you go. G-Watt trying to take out the crowd,
Everybody but Barefoot. He's going down.
Yeah.
Nicho said, congrats, Carl. Way to represent the 361. Congrats, Carl. When did it soak in? Bill asked you earlier and said, has it soaked in yet? When did it soak in, Carl?
Yesterday.
A couple nights sleeps before it actually you woke up and go, man, that really happened, huh?
Yeah. And when Royal Oak called, asked me to join the family with them. So
that'll make it sink in.
What man, where did you finish last year in the points chase, Carl? You were chasing pretty hard. It was really your first year chasing, huh?
Yeah. I got a 10th place something. I don't remember what it was. But I got my shirt 5 times, name on that shirt 5 times.
There you go.
It would have been better if I didn't go to Cuero.
Right. Oh shit!
That
I guess you're gonna chase them pretty hard this year, man. That's a good cook-off, soaking on the reel, a lot of points.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
You got any goals for this year where you want to finish in the top 10 or what?
I'd like to finish 2 things in the top 10. I don't care what 2.
Maybe like that overall. That'd be nice,
Man, Carl, look, we're gonna have to talk about these goals. Look, I can't sit on the sidelines anymore and let you make their own goals anymore. And you still up looking on the Rio to Awards and go, man, I just want to no walk RGC it. Too low. We're not aiming for that anymore, Carl. We're gonna set the goals higher. All right. Okay. We're gonna talk about the goals. We're gonna set them a little higher. I'm just kidding.
Are you still pushing for a team of the year in beans? Are you still pushing for a bean chase or what?
Yeah, but they won't put it on there. I give Paul shit about it all the time, and he tells me to talk to Fred. Fred really don't want to talk to me. I might have to start hounding the vice president.
Man, I think you ought to start with Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer's pretty good at getting things across the line, So, I mean, he got the kids' queue going and got a points chase going for them, so he's got experience.
I could hound the vice president, and he could take it back to Pfeiffer.
Yeah, I tell you what, that vice president stays pretty busy, So,
man, you might make more headway taking it straight to Pfeiffer.
Right.
It might.
Right.
Shit, goal number 1, Sean comes in there. 2026, you get to circle back, baby.
Yep.
That's goal number 1. That's cool. But listen, seriously, you got some bungs now. How many bungs you got now, Carl?
I thought I had 3, but I only got 2.
You got
All
2.
right.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
I got Casterville and Smoking on the Rio.
Nice.
Man, there's 2 shots at it, and shit, you never know. There's a lot of year left, man. You can peel off a few in a row and be sitting on 7 before you know it.
Yep. Well, and you're cooking good too. I mean, you just hit a 3rd place the week before and GC this. So, man, things are starting to pop together. You know, you just got to keep cooking, Carl. You know, so.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They put some of them doubles out there.
Yeah.
Have more
Get in there. Right.
Man, you know, we don't have many doubles in Texas. We really don't. Man, there's a lot of doubles all around the country, but there's just not many doubles in Texas. Now, we do have a lot of cook-offs in Texas. We just don't have a lot of doubles.
Yeah.
Right.
The only 2 doubles I got to do last year was I went from Lampasas all the way to Kendall. And then that was for a Friday and a Saturday cook. And then I did that one in Poteet and drove all the way up there where I parked next to you, Bill. What was it, Waxahachie or something like that? The Jambo.
That outlaw one. Yeah.
Man,
Jambo one.
We would have to ask Fong what that city is, Carl.
I think it's Waxahachie.
We're going to need that on a clip. Man, we're going to give Wes homework as soon as he gets back. It's a new button. It's a new button.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Waxahachie.
Right. Oh. It looks like there's a double in Tomball, somebody's saying this year. And a double in Curo this year.
Oh, yeah. Craig's is going to try to make that last one a double.
Right.
Man, we don't have to wait till the last one. We can have some doubles before then. Man, especially while the weather's good. We don't have to have all the
They
doubles.
got that IDCA CBA double in June.
Yeah. Shit, I think I'll be in somewhere Alaska maybe.
Oh, G Walt's wanting some exact stuff here, man. That may be a little much for the show, G Walt. You know, you may have to get with him offline, you know.
Can you tell us exactly your exact flat nugget process start to finish?
No interruptions.
Man, G Walt knows how to ask some questions.
He does. He does.
Man, you can dance around this shit all day, but man, you throw it out there, man, you never know, man. Shit. Man,
season them, throw them on the pit, pull them off, pull the bones, throw them in the butter bath, stick them back on the pit.
Man, that was from start to finish, is what I heard. How important is the pullback on your ribs, Carl?
Just wherever it lands is where it lands. I don't worry about it.
There you go, Louie.
Do you temp your ribs, Carl, or you just let the pull back to side, kind of like the wing tip?
No, I actually temp my ribs. I run them about 211.
There you go. No, I got you. Mondo, that's a backstage question.
We're back to trying to get Shane bumped.
Right. Well, shit, we're an hour and 15 minutes, man. I don't know if there's any more questions, man. I'll shut this thing down because, man, Spotify likes an hour. I uploaded a bunch of them to Spotify today. So if you're not following us there, go follow us on the Spotify. Trying to get them all.
I just use Walmart or HEB butter. No salt butter.
Oh, there you go. What brand of butter? Yeah, it doesn't matter. What do we got? How do you keep your ribs straight?
Cut through the bones with that Bubba knife. I just slice right through. Pull out the chunk thick in there. I got straight lines.
Man, Carl, I can see a class coming, Carl. Look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were going to ask me. They'd be like, "What in the Sam hell has he got going on over there?"
They don't think they want that, but that's exactly what they want. They want what the Sam Hill is going on over here. And if they want to see what everybody's doing, they can take any class. They want to see what everybody's not doing. Man, that's the one you're looking for. Man, we're just gonna go right. We're gonna mow right through them fucking balls.
Yeah.
It's almost the blades. I go through quite a few blades, but I got straight lines.
Well, Carl, you got any sponsors you want to thank, Carl? You want to shout out any sponsors?
LC, AutoNation in Corpus, Royal Oak, and the barbecue store. That's all the sponsors I got.
Mountain Dew.
There you go.
Maybe I was still in
That's some good ones. Well,
Yeah,
perfect,
Mountain
man.
Dew,
Next week
that saved me a lot of money.
we might be with Shane if G-Walt doesn't win this next weekend or RGC. So you guys stay tuned, and we'll play a little closing song, and we'll shut her down.
You guys have a good night.
Appreciate it, Carl. Congrats.
Yep. See you guys Sunday.
Man, I don't know what kind of West music he put for a closing song. We got to find something. Shit, what was that? You know, he said closing song. Fuck. Man, I think I'm just going to hit it with this one.
That sounds a lot more like